Good afternoon, everybody. Thought I'd check in with you because I got a few things I want to get off my chest. Let me introduce myself to some of you who do not know me yet. I am Fred Christian Jr. I am the founder Fred Christian. I'm the founder of the social media organization Impact. I want to emphasize we're not a 501c3 or a political organization. We're just a Facebook/social media organization on Twitter and Instagram. I'm the face of it. I'm the guy that does most of the artwork you see and also the video. Whoa. What a week we had in the United States of America. Yes, what a week we had. We had a week like no other. We had 4 young people, promising young people, killed in Dadeville, Alabama on Saturday last week, going to a birthday party. Yes, going to a birthday party. We had 2 cheerleaders going to a supermarket, which is a normal occurrence for everybody, so I think, and they got shot. Fortunately, they didn't pass away, but they got shot. We had a young lady who drove her car to the wrong address, and the man came out and shot her dead. We had a young boy who almost was killed in Missouri doing the same thing. And then we had down here in Florida, where I'm from in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale area, I live in Miami Gardens, we had a DoorDash, kids working for DoorDash trying to earn extra money, and someone shot at them. And then yesterday in Texas, we had 9 more people shot at a party. I don't have to tell you, for those of you I'm probably preaching to the choir on, something must be done about this gun problem. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue to lose young people. This is beyond epidemic. This is a pandemic now with this. The United States Senate needs to act, and this Congress needs to get it together, Kevin McCarthy, because we like our kids and we want them to live long life. So I'm going to ask Speaker McCarthy, do you want our kids to live or do you want them to die? I know your little friend Margie, she doesn't care. But so what? I don't care. Because about Margie and her feelings. I care about our kids and their future. I want them to live. I'm tired of seeing kids get shot up needlessly. I'm not saying to take all the guns away because that's not the solution. But we should ban the sale of assault weapons. We should have more personal responsibility, yes, Republicans. More personal responsibility, yes, NRA. More personal responsibility is needed desperately at this point. This is code red in terms of what's going on, folks. It's code red, and it's been code red. It's been code red in South Florida for such a long time. And let me say some names to you. Jada Page, age 5. King Carter, age 7. Alana Washington, age 7. Chastity Saunders, age 6. Elijah LaFrance, age 4. See a pattern here? All small children killed before their 9th birthday or 10th birthday. Yes. They didn't even make it to the age of 10, and they died. My friend Letha Cheryl Bush, my friend Tracy Brown, my friend Tracy Lyons, and my friend Tawana Akins lost sons, cousins, nieces, nephews to gun violence. This is not something that people take lightly and take it as a joke. This is not funny anymore. It's sick. Think about this. Can we go to a supermarket where it's safe? Can we go to a church, a school? Can we go to a church, a mosque if you worship, place of worship, a church, a mosque, a synagogue? Can we go to any of those places without having a thought in my head, is some psycho going to come in and shoot it up or hurt us? No. Can your kids play safely outside? No. Can your kids play safely in a park all the time? No. Can you go to a mall safely? No. Why? Because we've let the gun run us. It's a machine. It's mechanical. It's not a god. It should never be treated as a god. It is a violent, awful device that's meant to kill and harm. Assault weapons were never meant to hunt animals, contrary to popular beliefs. They were meant to go into war. Why are we using weapons of war on our streets? Who needs one? Tell me, please. Why do you need an assault weapon? Anybody watching this, please answer me why you need an assault weapon. Please, just tell me. Why do you need one? Tell me. What is this fear you have where you think that something bad is going to happen? Why do you need multiple guns, some of you? Why? Why do you need to do this? Why? And for the people on the other side, why aren't you offering more prevention problems? Why aren't you preventing this problem by offering prevention solutions, such as more mental health counseling, better health care, access to health care? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you pushing at least to fund this? Why aren't you pushing for background checks, Republicans? At least we should know who is going with these guns. Personally, at this point, if you can't ban them, you should at least insure and regulate them. If we have to buy health care, if we have to buy car insurance, if we have to buy boat insurance and home insurance and flood insurance now, if you're in Florida, you need flood insurance because of climate change, what Rich Scott says is not real, but it is. Yes, climate change is real, sorry. But we need, if you can be insured and have to buy insurance for that, why not gun insurance? Why not? They want you to be responsible. They want you to be moral. They want you. I follow God and I believe in Jesus and I am a Christian and I'm saved. I'm not saying for people not to buy guns. I'm not saying that. I wish people wouldn't personally, but I understand it's your right under the Second Amendment to buy a gun. However, think about this. This device takes more than it gives. The minute you pull that trigger, you're changing your life, whether you like it or not, but you're changing many lives. You're changing the life of a person that gets hit by that bullet and lives, where they're going to need health care and therapy and all kind of stuff for the rest of their life. They may not be able to walk or run or use their arms or their legs or have a proper digestive system or maybe even brain functioning, depending on where that bullet lands. Now, if they don't live, you're not only taking their life, but you're ruining the lives of their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their uncles, their cousins, and their grandparents. Yes, this goes deep. Their friends, their church members. You're going to destroy a whole culture doing this with that one trigger and that pulling of that trigger one time and that one bullet going into someone. Please, we've got to stop this culture with the violence and the shooting and just shooting people at random. The violent solution is not the answer. We need to teach more coping skills. We need to teach more mental health. That's the answer. But we do need to do something about these guns. We can't just treat it like you're going to a convenience store or a supermarket or a McDonald's, not plugging them, to go buy a hamburger or a pack of gum. This is what it's become. Do you realize we have 400 million guns and we only have about 375 million people in the country? We have more guns than we have people. Does that make sense to any of you? Please answer me that. Does it make any sense? I mean, I'm grateful to get to advocate for this and help others, but if you gave me a choice, I'd rather be doing something else than having to constantly see kids on TV dying. Read it on Facebook, read it on Twitter, read it on Instagram. I must have got 2 today that said that. 2 about people with shootings. I turned on my news. Someone died in Miami today because of it. I mean, not a day goes by anymore where somebody's getting shot. People, why? Please answer me why we're doing this. Please answer me what we can do to stop this. I do support an assault weapons ban, and I wish you would too. But I really wish more of you would take action on this. Instead of saying, oh, it's a shame. Oh, we're going to pray for you. Oh, we feel bad. Feel bad's not going to bring the people back. They're dead. Feel bad will never bring them back. Thoughts and prayers aren't going to bring them back. Stopping this insanity is going to stop people from joining them, which is why I do this. So, I wrote a poem about getting involved in your community and your state and your nation and some of these issues. And it kind of applies today. So I'm going to read it to you. It's called ACT. I'm going to debut it today. ACT. Don't wait. No time to hesitate. Things aren't great, so don't wait to make them great. Act. For today. For tomorrow. So yesterday has a tomorrow. So don't wait. Act. Get involved. Heed the call. So the problem gets solved. Before it's too late, don't hesitate. Get out of the gate. Don't wait. Act. So it's not too late. Act. Don't wait to make it great. Act. Before it's too late. Act now, because it's never too late to make things great. Yes. And I'm not talking about the great with the people in the red hats either. Or, ball caps. I'm not talking in the t-shirts. I'm talking about great for everyone. I'm talking about where we can go out again and kids can play in the streets and kids can play in the parks and sit out front in the yards and not have to worry like that little girl did where she innocently rolled a basketball into her neighbor's yard and he shot him, her, and her mother and father. You want to know something? I was a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid outside Ocala, Florida. And I wasn't the most coordinated in the world. We had a fenced-in yard. My basketball sometimes bounced over the neighbor's fence. I don't know how many times a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, I would have to go chase that ball. I would have to go chase that ball. Now, come on. You got a kid chasing a ball and you're going to kill him. You got kids looking for the wrong house and you're shooting at them. Why? Why are we doing this to our kids? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Anybody want to answer me that? And finally, I'm going to read this Saturday too at an event I'm going to for gun violence. And I'll have some film on it. But I want to read this to you guys. It's my classic poem that everybody likes. And I want you to really think about this poem. I'm going to close with it. How many? How many tears must we cry? How many times must we say goodbye? When someone we love dies, how many times must we sigh and want to cry? How many kids must die? How many moms and dads will cry? Why? How many Americans will cry? Why? When someone they love dies. Too many tears, too many fears, too few years. How many more will say enough? How many more will rise up and say enough? Before our future dies, before it begins, how many will cry? So I'm going to break this down real quick line by line. How many? Simple question. So I'm going to ask you guys this. How many tears must we cry? You realize that somewhere in America right now that a family lost a loved one to gun violence and they may not be having a good day because of it? Do you realize right now that people are probably have had funerals in the past week for a few of those people, like the 4 kids that died in Dadeville, Alabama, and they're saying goodbye to them and they're dealing with the aftermath of that, which is when someone they love dies. How many times must we sigh and want to cry? We're doing that a lot too much lately. We're just doing that a lot. We're sighing like, what can we do? What a shame. And you might cry because it'll hit you. It does with me. Now here's the big question. How many kids must die? We must have had 10 kids get shot this week. We lost 4 of them already. 5 of them this week. And at least 4 to 4. Let's see. We had a young man outside St. Louis who was shot in the wrong house. We had the 4 that died in Dadeville, plus at least 3 or 4 that were injured. That's 4 killed. We had the girl in New York. That's 5. We had at least 5 killed. Plus we had several killed, 9 shot at in Texas today, plus the 2 cheerleaders. So we must have had at least 5 to 10 people killed, estimated. At least 5 to 6 killed, and maybe 20 injured in the past week, young people. Yes. Think about that. How many of them are getting injured by gun? So we're going to ask you this question. How many moms and dads are going to cry? And I guarantee you they're crying because they're missing their child. I deal with this with my friends Letha and Tracy. I deal with it with my friend Tawana. I deal with my friend Tan. I deal with it with my friend Regina. Not a day goes by that these ladies don't miss their sons. Not a day goes by that this lady doesn't miss all her relatives. Tawana's case, her nephew and her cousins that passed away because of gun violence too soon. Why, when someone they loves dies again? Too many tears. Again, crying because they're missing them. Too many fears. We're all scared. Where do we go to safe? Too few years. Yes, King, Jada, Elijah, Alana, Chas. Too few years. How many more are going to say it? And Jack Brown, of course, Letha's son, who died at 30. Louis Leon, who was a teenager when he died, who's Tracy Brown's son. Zamari Louis Pierre, who is Sharita Small's son. And of course, Mendel Butler, who died walking to the store one day, 17 years old, Amarosi Butler's son. Too few years for them. How many? And the kids in Dothan, too few years, or not Dothan, in Dadeville, Alabama, too few years for them. So how many more are going to say enough? Are you really going to say enough? Are you going to make the phone calls? Are you going to pester the tar out of these daggone people in DC to get them to do something? And how many are going to rise up and say enough? What's it going to take for you to do that and act like my other poem said? Before our future dies, before it begins, which is our kids. How many of you are going to cry? And cry this time, not sadness and sorrow, but cry to act and get out there and do something for these kids. Do something for yourselves. Do it for your neighbors. Do it for yourself. Please. I just want to thank you all for today. My name is Fred Christian, and I'm the founder of Impact. And I thank you for today. Take care and God bless.